This is Wrestling with Love.
Your ultimate tag team for all things wrestling.
I'm Lwazi.
And I'm Ati.
Let's get into it! Woo! I'm so excited for this episode because we are doing WrestleMania 41 predictions. And we're not alone. We are joined by Mr. International. We've got a former WWE Portugal announcer. He's also a content producer, digital content producer, as well as having his own wrestling YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alex Bettencourt. What's up, Alex?
Yes, we got
Yes,
to go back
yes.
to what we did before. Yes, WrestleMania season is upon us, and it's going to be awesome. And right here, the podcast with Lwazi, with that Z converted like Lwazi, and Ati,
Yeah.
we're looking forward to this as well.
Man.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. And actually, I want to just start things off here, right? So for me, the number one thing or the biggest thing that sold me on wrestling was Sheamus and Drew's match at Fastlane in 2021. I never looked back since then. For you, what was that moment? What was that one thing that made you fall in love with wrestling?
That defining moment was for me when I was just 13 years old. And believe it or not, I'm about to turn 47 this month.
Oh, okay, wow.
So I've been
You don't
around
even
the
look
block
it.
for a little bit. And this lies very much, right? But it's been 34 years of just being a fan of at a Christmas family dinner, just browsing and, well, we call it browsing these days, but just channel surfing. And then all of a sudden, I come across Hulk Hogan's like, what's this? I had no idea what it was. Just this big guy in these yellow trunks, and he's kicking somebody's behind. And like, I don't know what this is, but I'm loving it. What is this? And then through time, I just end up, discovering wrestling, talking about wrestling with my friends, trading tapes, getting into the passion. And all of a sudden, I'm collecting magazines and figurines and whatever else that could come by to me at that time, seeing that wrestling wasn't particularly big at that particular time here in Portugal. So that's where it began. 34 years ago.
Oh,
We can see the collection there behind you. There's so many things I would love to just fan out about. So this is really dope. You've got the WrestleMania cap as well. Did you go Mania 33?
So I went to, brace yourselves,
Oh,
21,
hectic.
22, 23, 24,
What?
25,
What?
28, 29, 32,
What?
33,
What?
and 35.
Oh, wow.
That's your legend.
You're
Well, yes,
manifesting.
that's what we need for us. That's so cool. But clearly you've lived the dream because you've been a WWE announcer. That's something I'd love to do as well one day. How did you get that role and how's the whole experience?
The whole thing is, and the reason why my YouTube channel is called Wrestling Traduzido, which translates to Wrestling Translated, was because I just started off 17 years ago in 2004, just early 2004. I just started off translating and subtitling their content here for Portugal. So there was the show Velocity, which is akin to the today's main event, kind of a C show. And then
I remember
there was
Velocity actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the green and everything.
And then SmackDown as well. And those were 2 45-minute shows. And I did that for a little while. And then things just started picking up. And then one of the TV partners that WWE had, they felt the need, we want to really embrace this in Portuguese. Can you do the announcing? Okay, I had no experience. I just kind of went for it. Okay, so let me just kind of try to listen what JR is doing back then and what Michael Coley was doing and just try to pick up some leads from there. And then all of a sudden, I find myself in a studio with a microphone in front of me, just announcing SmackDown. Okay, so I'm learning on the job. So if you happen to run that clip that I sent you and give people a little sample of what I did.
SmackDown para mais uma manhã de grande espetáculo. Temos agora Rey Mysterio no ringue que vai enfrentar o Brutamontes, o Bisonte, Mike Knox.
I'm still learning on the job. This was back in 2009. So this was 5 years shy of me just starting off just this wrestling journey, professionally speaking. And that's how it happened. And I did that for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
We're in the midst of a legend.
No,
and I must say, we watched your YouTube
literally.
clips as well as, what you did with the commentary, and you were just so good. And without even understanding per se what you say, you can
Just
feel the passion.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And actually, speaking about YouTube, like, can you tell us about your YouTube channel? Like, how did you go about starting it, and what do you do exactly?
So the YouTube channel by itself, I've always had a passion for video production, and that kind of fire was lit under me even further and even more through just watching WWE content and watching those beautiful packages that they have. And this is the event; these are the people, and this is the editing and the camera work and everything around it. And I've always fell in love with it. So to the fact that everything I do is somehow connected directly to WWE one way or another. And I just started from that, and I just figured everybody's doing YouTube. I'm a late bloomer when it comes to social media. I've only just entered TikTok, only just joined. So just for you to see, like, I just don't adopt it very easily. It's just like, it's just, I don't really like trends, so I just don't pay too much attention. But then I joined YouTube, and then I just started publishing my reports. And then WWE would come here. I would go early and check out the people at the arena buying tickets, and I would film them and I would interview them. And slowly that's how it started. And then I was able to actually do reports around the WWE talent here as well whenever they would come by. And that's when it started growing. But I only just recently started using YouTube as a tool, because by then it was since 2008 when it started. It was just showcase. This is what I did. There, done. Like the internet can have it and whatever. And right now, this is kind of as WWE joined Netflix and things are becoming so hot again, even here in Portugal. Now I'm really digging into the tool that is YouTube and learning how to use it and learning how to use TikTok. And I'm seeing the growth. So it's been a kind of steadfast, going nowhere really quickly, and then whoop, and then jumped again.
Yeah.
So this is where we're at right now.
Now, guys, you definitely have to make sure you
nice.
check out his TikTok as well as his YouTube channel. We've seen it and it's amazing. And this is so cool just having you here and just hearing your insights as well. But now let's jump into...
Actually, before we jump into that, his YouTube channel does also have translations.
Yes, subtitles.
Yeah, subtitles, sorry. So please make sure you check that out on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wrestling Traduzido.
Hey! So it's nearly time for us to get into the predictions. But before that, I wanted us to chat about the WWE Tag Team titles. Currently, as of recording, they're not on the WrestleMania card. A lot of people are up in arms about that. I'm one of them, to be honest. Alex, how do you feel about this?
I mean, it's tag team as a division has been kind of seeing its rebirth again, right? Because it's just kind of locked away for so long under the Vince McMahon regime. And now Triple H is finally getting it and just kind of taking it somewhere. And we're seeing it. But at the same time, not so much, because what we have at WrestleMania is New Day versus the War Raiders. And that's kind of only half the story. So at the same time, I understand that you can't really fit everything in. So you already have the ladies with their tag team championship match as well. So, I mean, as far as WrestleMania and as far as tag team, which we know is not really the kind of the first priority of WWE, that's really as far as we can go. And I mean, it's kind of balanced because you do have one match of each, but you really can't fit everything in the card regrettably. So I think the most that they can and should do is just highlight it as much as they can during the weekly shows and take it from there.
And I think they've definitely done that as well, because SmackDown's tag team division is red hot right now. Everyone is feuding with everyone, but how do you feel, Ati, about it?
For me, like, I don't like it at all. Because the thing is, we've already seen the New Day and the War Raiders, right? And the thing is, the Street Profits have been complaining that, all these people have come in, pushed in, MCMG coming in, pushing in, and they've kind of been like set back. But it's just like, that moment when the Street Profits finally got their, the titles, it was quite big. The first SmackDown on the road to Mania WrestleMania. Like that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
an amazing moment. So it's just like, we had that moment, and we really are rooting for them. Like I love this rebranding, just who they are, these cool guys. Now it's
We
not
want the smoke.
it's
We
not all
want the
about the
smoke.
cups
Hey.
anymore. They're more serious. There's more
Yeah.
depth to them. So for me, I feel like they are so deserving of a WrestleMania moment. Like I could honestly do without the War Raiders and the New Day. Like
Shots fired.
we've seen it, and like the New Day, yes, they're making strides, but it's like we've seen it. Like this is something fresh. Like to see the Street Profits at WrestleMania, I feel would be just like amazing. I mean, Montez Ford has been wanting it for the longest time.
Yeah, on
on
Love and WWE.
Exactly.
Yeah, he mentioned that.
So,
and for me, what was funny as well was seeing the Miz and Melo calling out the Street Profits, and so it's kind of like bleeding into the storyline. So I liked at least they addressed it.
Yeah. And at the same time, it's kind of cool to see kind of that mellow vibe. Just all of a sudden, okay, Miz is cool. So what does Miz say? We're him.
Sim?
And that's
It's a bit cringe, but it kind of works at the same time. So that's
Don't
dope. Yeah,
catch on.
but we had to get that out the way. But now let's jump into the actual predictions. So we've been told what's going to happen on WrestleMania Saturday as well as WrestleMania Sunday. So let's start off with Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. Alex, how have you found Jay's journey on the road to WrestleMania? It's been very controversial. What are your feels and who's going to win?
So there's two avenues that I can take here. I can be nice on the storyline side, being corporate WWE kind of stuff, or I can give you my honest opinion. If you want my really honest opinion,
honest.
So, but there's two things that are true here, and they can be somewhat simultaneously true. Jey Uso has really picked up steam, and we know that, and it's fair to say that he's more of a superstar these days than he was before. And that's something to be appreciated, and definitely I think he's earned those flowers. At the same time, I do think that there's a part of me that's, the 34-year-old, as far as the all the time that I've been watching wrestling, the 47 by now, but the 34-year-old fan that has been watching this, and through time, you do gain kind of a sensibility towards things, and you do end up kind of feeling what's in the air. And I just have the feeling, I mean, you're good. You're good. I'm just not sure I would put you in the main event for WrestleMania.
I mean, I guess that's why it's not in the main event, actually, because that's a whole talking point in and of itself. You win the Royal Rumble, but then you're going to most likely start night one even.
Is he still main event Jey Uso then?
Exactly. And that's kind of my contention point here is like, how can you really be main event? Even the nickname was just, it was a mistake. And how can you be main event anything when you're not actually in the main event?
But the thing is, though, Alex...
And in the Royal Rumble, you've been advertised pointing to the WrestleMania sign as being the main event. Where's Uso in the main event? He's just not. And, it is what it is.
I wouldn't say that the nickname was a mistake at the beginning, at least, because Roman Reigns, he did put Jey Uso on and he was main eventing all those SmackDowns. But yeah, now we're in an awkward space. Yeah.
Right? But then also because Jay is also trying to be his own person now, like kind of like, stepping away from the Roman Reigns era and all of that. So actually like own this person that you are. You haven't been able to solidify a main event being your own person. So I don't think you're deserving of that name of calling yourself main event Jey Uso.
Yeah.
And honestly, like this feud, when it started, or let's just say Jey Uso per se, like I was feeling it at the beginning, like, yeeting all over the place.
And then they'd restart the music. That was a cool moment.
But I just feel like the momentum has died down. Like, I don't know what I'm missing or what, like, shifted. Because, like, for instance, with the confrontation he had with Gunther as well, a lot of people are praising it. On my end, I wasn't that sold. Because I just feel like as someone that is so angry, like, yes, your mom was asking, why didn't you do anything, whatever. But it's just like, at the end of the day, your brother is in hospital. do something now. And, we saw Gunther's face changing in the ring there. And it's just like, okay, maybe he's starting to feel bad. I don't know what's going on to our ring general. But attack, Jay. Like, attack. This guy was brutalizing your brother in front of you. You were, handcuffed or whatever those things were to the ropes. Like, do something. Actually show him that you are nothing to mess with and he must fear you going into WrestleMania. And I don't think that gave that.
I just have to add really quickly here that Jay's Uso highlight in his main event run so far was actually Paris. And I can never forget Corey Graves' comments like, it's like the walls are moving. It was a beautiful and awesome thing to see. The crowd was into it. But at the same time, I think it was A, because it was all new. B, because though we're finally in Paris for a major event. And it's just kind of that whirlwind that makes you think, maybe this can go somewhere. But at the same time, you look at the storyline and you see that Jey Uso always has that kind of what I call like existential crisis. And that's it comes from somebody. It comes from kind of, you feel the environment in the air around this whole run. And this is kind of the feeling that we're sharing right now. Is he good? Yes. Is he absolutely incredible with his brother as a tag team and as tag team champions? Please just do that. And if he's just kind of a singles wrestler, a singles superstar, do that as well. Just don't overhype him that much, because now he has this impossible mountain to climb, which is, okay, so how is he main event when he's not main eventing? And that's the trouble they're running into right now.
Final predictions. Who's winning, Gunther or Jay?
Again, I'm split in this, because while I do feel, and this is just a feel, so it's subjective, that he shouldn't really be in the main event, I also do feel that they maybe want to kind of give him that cookie and just go for the championship and just kind of, let's make this all worthwhile, and let's take the opportunity to make him feel what it is like to be up here. In a few months down the road, they're just going to take the championship away from him, and he's going to have to earn it all over again a few years down the road. But for right now, I think that would be kind of the sensible thing to do.
Okay. Jey Uso.
Jey Uso.
Okay, I'm also saying Jey Uso. And some people online, they've been saying that Gunther should retain because, Cody lost the first time he took on Roman Reigns, then the second time he won. But I think the major difference here is that Jay's already lost 3 times to Gunther. So if he loses again after a 4-month build, after you just lost to the guy, what are we doing? So...
And I have to add just a little, let's be sympathetic towards Gunther around here. Because, come on, the guy just jobbed to Sami Zayn last WrestleMania. Is he going to job to main event Jey Uso at this WrestleMania? That's not a main event. I mean, let's have some pity, some compassion for the guy.
No, but this is the same guy who's only lost 4 times in his whole career in WWE. So I think it's fine. If you're losing at Mania, that's the only time you lose. It's okay. So nah.
But as much as we're saying Jey Uso, I don't want it to actually be that way.
Oh yeah, because Gunther's actually one of your favorite superstars.
For me, I do not think Jay is there yet to be able to beat Gunther. And I always tell you, my favorite Gunther match was Ilya Dragunov on NXT.
Yeah. So hard hitting.
When he basically lost his title to Ilya. That, I need Jey Uso to get to that level. Then I will believe that you can beat someone like Gunther. But for right now, I don't believe it, but I just know that's what's going to happen.
Let's hope he does
that's
it.
the thing. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but really quickly.
No problem.
That's the thing. I can believe that he's going to, on a business side, going to earn his championship, and he's going to go ahead and win the title. But at the same time, I'm with you, Ati. Is I don't really feel like he deserves it just yet. So I would prefer if Gunther kept it. So that's kind of my take on it.
Jey Uso's got an uphill battle, and not to mention last year facing Jimmy Uso, all the hype, and then the match didn't quite deliver. So hopefully this time round, things will be different. Match number 2 that I want us to chat about, El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio.
So good.
First and foremost, Ati, tell us, should this match even be at Mania?
I'm
Because
sorry.
it feels like a Raw match. I love both guys, but
for me, like, this is where I'm gonna fight for the Street Profits even more. I feel like this match is a waste of space.
Yeah.
Why do we have this right now? Are we trying like to find the greatest luchador? Like what? Like
He's from the Gulf of America, El Grande.
I just
Ati, you're going about this the wrong way because the highlight is not for El Grande Americano. It's for Rey Mysterio, who's going to put over El Grande Americano.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the whole plan. Maybe, I guess.
that's one way to look at it, but
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah, wouldn't you say that this was very hastily put together, the match?
It was. But at the
Yeah.
same time, look at the context. Rey Mysterio is now turning 50. Rey Mysterio is going to soon want to step out of WWE and just hand it over to Dominic. At some point, WWE has to pull the trigger and go, okay, so this is, if not your last match, we're going to start their last run. So that's how I look at it.
But how should the LWO feel? Because wouldn't you think they should be put over? We've seen how talented they are.
Yeah.
The matches the past couple of weeks on Raw, like Joaquin Wild, Cruz del Toro, those guys, I feel like they
and
should
now
be...
we have this questionable luchador that we don't even know is even a luchador. Like, I think the greatest thing to happen is for Chad Gable,
Yeah.
I'm calling it, it's him, Chad Gable to be unmasked at WrestleMania. I think that will make it for me. Because, like, also there's just so much going on around this thing of us still yet to see Chad Gable and, you know, El Grande Americano in the same room.
It's very possible. I can see it happening that we all think it's Chad Gable, then at Mania it's just actually someone completely different. And then we all feel crazy. So I don't know. Yeah. But so Alex, it seems like you're leaning towards Rey Mysterio is going to put over El Grande. So El Grande gets the W's. That's your final prediction. Okay. Ati, your prediction is...
As much as I don't want it, but like it is so entertaining and
it must
for
continue,
me,
ne?
in my veins, I need El Grande Americano to take it.
Okay, so clean sweep. I also agree.
I just have to add, I mean, his music, his entrance music, that take from that, you know, famous American march, and he's coming with the music. I'm like, this is brilliant. I mean, this is just beautiful. The package they set up for him. And then the character that they built. It's like, the guy has been around for decades. He's just been hidden somewhere, and now he's coming out.
It was a lot of fun, and it touches really on what you said. You know, WWE's production is out of this world. That's the one thing. They can sell you on anything, so they killed it with El Grande. So let's see what happens. And all I have to say with that is gracias.
Gracias. Thank you.
Yeah. So now, next match, let's talk about the US title. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. I was very surprised that we got a singles match there. So what are your feels, Alex, there?
You can't just throw LA Knight out there and not go,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
You have to go, yeah.
Yeah. So can LA Knight retain his title against the Samoan Werewolf?
Guys, you're putting me in a bind here because while I would like to see LA Knight to actually retain his championship and have this glorious win, it's just not going to happen. Jacob's going to go home with the gold.
No, but I don't know how I feel about an ex-convict winning the United States. The United States Championship. United States. And he's guys.
I mean, that was his past. Let's look to his future. This is a
But
future
he's
WrestleMania
still
main eventer.
a madman even now. He is still
Shame
not
on
okay.
you. Shame on you.
And he's going to
The
be
man-
representing the United States? Come on.
The man deserves to be reintegrated in society. Let him win his title.
Yes.
We don't need shakes.
Oh, no, that's a low blow. That's a low blow.
So it feels like we all basically think realistically Jacob Fatu is going to win though, right? Right? Like you feel that way.
I
his
feel
past
it,
aside.
but it's a tough one.
But also the key question I think is Solo Sikoa. What's Solo Sikoa's part in all of this? Won't he cost Jacob maybe?
I feel like Solo's putting on a front. I don't believe this whole him wanting to push Jacob Fatu because what happened to Solo is embarrassing. Like, he was the leader. He was leading this Temu bloodline.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he comes back. He can't even say anything. Now, all of a sudden, you're pushing Jacob, who was your goon. Make it make sense.
Well, the sense that it makes is that Solo Sikoa, being the slimy sleazeball hyena that he is, At the first chance, he's going to try to interject himself into the scene and get the title away from Jacob Fatu because he didn't get no Ula Fala. That's gone and out the window. So he has to make up for it somehow.
What I'm also finding very interesting is how Tamatonga was on Jacob's side, but now he seems to be more aligned with Solo. So what's going on there? Like,
Yeah. I don't know.
Can't not do it.
That's all.
Can't not do it.
You did that so perfectly. Okay, so Alex's prediction is Jacob, mine is Jacob, and
LA Knight.
LA Knight. Okay, that's your final answer.
LA Knight
Okay,
is retaining.
fine. Next match, WrestleMania Saturday. Let's talk about this one. I think really means a lot to us. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. When Nick Aldis made the announcement, Ati and I literally we celebrated because we feel like these women, they deserve the spot. Singles match. So Ati, let's start with you. What do you feel?
And like just this heel Naomi it's everything. Caution. It's giving everything. And then you also have just Jade, just looking like a superhero and everything. But I don't know, like, does Jade's look actually align with being the good person, like the good guy?
I think she might end up turning heel at some point. I feel like this is a showcase for her to beat Naomi, then she'll go after Bianca. Alex, I don't know how you seeing things.
Jade is on a tear. She's going to tear her limb from limb, as the expression goes. And I think that Jade right now has a few months to pick up, storyline-wise, where she has been brutally attacked by Naomi, who all of a sudden turned into this wicked and monster heel that did things in the back of Bianca Belair and what's going on here. And now we see Naomi shifting. It's like, oh, hold on. Now I like Naomi because she's now bringing something into the dark side herself with the caution and the hair and the do and everything. Like, now she's interesting to watch from a booking standpoint and from a storyline standpoint. Now you see, okay, Jade's going to kill her. That's what's going to happen. It's just inevitable.
Can she do even worse than what she did at Elimination Chamber, though? Because that gate being slammed into Naomi still, oh my gosh, that was crazy. So how much more brutal would things get?
That's the cool thing about this match, is that for the first time in a long time, you can actually see two ladies who are just bloodthirsty for one another.
Yeah.
And if you think about that context, you see, oh, this is going to be something that's worth to watch.
I'm just hoping that Def Rebel gets their act together. I need a banger of a theme song for Naomi when she comes out, like that suits her new aura. That'll be cool, and I'm sure there'll be a special entrance for Jade as well. I think this is her coming out party. She gets the W, and then hopefully I finally get my dream match. Bianca versus Jade needs to happen. So I'm going Jade. Alex, I think you're going Jade as well?
Yes, I am.
And then Ati's torn. She loves Naomi, but she loves Jade as well.
I love both of them. But I think I'm going Jade with this because she has so much to be angry about. Like Naomi took her out when she was just reaching, her peak. Basically, being a tag team champion with Bianca. So I just think she has way more. And it's like, you took me out, and at that, you couldn't face me, you had to attack me when I was least expecting it. So I think Jade is just going to tear Naomi apart, but I do think that this is going to be an amazing match. Naomi is not just going to take it lying down. That I believe, because even her, she has a lot of fire in her right now. And just this whole thing of her being like, you know what, Jade, you came in and now you stealing the spotlight, you're using Bianca. I don't believe that per se, because it's just like, Naomi, you've been around. You've been chilling. Why are you now all of a sudden threatened by Jade? You had all this time before Jade even arrived. Why weren't you doing anything then? So I think it is jealousy more than it is, oh, you are using Bianca and all of that other stuff. So with that, I think Naomi is going to lose, because actually she does not have a leg to stand on.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how this turns out.
tie the bow on that one. Next match, another one I think you're going to be very heated about. Yeah, now let's touch on New Day versus War Raiders. You did mention that we've already seen it now on Raw. It ended up being a DQ rematch coming up. Who wins?
The thing is, we also haven't seen the War Raiders like
properly showcased, fair, yeah.
And there's a push now with the New Day. I want it to be the New Day, honestly.
Yeah.
I want the New Day to take it, but I think War Raiders.
Okay, so final answer, War Raiders are retaining, yeah.
No, I'm going to be bold. New Day.
New Day, okay. I'm also going New Day. Alex, for you?
I have some difficulty into actually being emotionally invested in this match. For the simple fact that War Raiders have actually been working very well. But New Day, since they became kind of this new heel faction, they've been trying to get some traction. But I do think people are still emotionally invested in them as the happy-go-lucky trio, and to these last 3 years, the happy-go-lucky duo. So I'm having a really hard time really investing in this match and figuring out like who am I rooting for. It's like no contest, so to speak. Let them do what they do, and whatever comes.
Let Big E come in and just sabotage the whole thing.
I'm going to be tough on you, Alex. We need a final answer. Who's winning? Who's winning here?
Okay, so because we have to go somewhere, let's just put the title on the New Day.
Yeah, right. Come on. Let's give it to them and give them momentum with this new persona they've got. And also for me, I found it interesting that they've never won the tag titles at WrestleMania. So with all the titles they've won, I think they deserve this moment. And then hopefully coming out of it, maybe they can face the likes of Fraxium. I'm thinking Fraxium gets called up after Mania. So there's lots of potential, I think, there. Then, next match.
And very, very quickly, we just have to throw a word out there for Big E, who's been incredible, just doing his backstage work and just doing his microphone on the desk and coming up with his new segments and the stuff that he did on Netflix. And my heart goes out to him because even in New Day, he was to me kind of the highlight of the whole trio. They're fun, but Big E just that whole thing just gets me going.
Keep it going, hey.
So he deserves some love as well. We just have to mention him really quickly.
Yeah, hopefully one day he comes back. I feel like we need one more run from Big E.
You guys are not going to like me for this. You are not going to love me for this at all. But I am with the New Day when it comes to Big E.
Wow.
Big E left.
Wow.
No explanation. Okay, yes, he was injured, but the New Day was visiting him, taking care. But it's just like, update us. And I feel like Big E wasn't giving them that. Because why would the New Day just all of a sudden be like, no, Big E, you left us, bro. You didn't come back. Like, I just feel like there's just so much that Big E was lacking.
No, the New Day is jealous because Big E is flourishing with his broadcasting career.
No, he prioritized his desk job over his friends. Because when you are doing the pre-shows, how about you check up on the New Day? Like, hey, bros, like, are you fine? Like, he wasn't doing anything for them. Nope, I'm with the New Day.
How
That's
dare
my
you,
story.
Adi? How dare
I'm
you?
sticking to it.
You.
Right, shame. Hectic. Yo. Okay, so now the next match I want us to talk about is definitely going to stir us up even more now. Like, guys, we're still on WrestleMania Saturday, but Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. We've seen the real-life beef here come about. What are your thoughts on this, Alex?
I like Tiffany Stratton so much up until the point that she decided to throw Charlotte's divorces in her face live on television for SmackDown. It's like, oh, Tiffy. Why?
Isn't it
Why
fair game though? Because also Charlotte is the one who was not letting Tiffy talk in that split screen segment. So it's like, you don't respect me, so why must I respect you?
It was just weird. It was weird. It was unnecessary. And, I could go a little deeper into the analysis, but I won't just now. Also, I want to keep it fun and light here.
Okay.
But I just thought it was a little needless. And I think, if anything, it was the proving ground on that SmackDown that they were face to face, and she decided to throw Charlotte Flair's divorces onto her face again. It's like, you shouldn't do that. Not for anything. For if anything else, just hold your ground. Just tell your story, be in the character, and try to defeat her on the mic with that. Prove yourself above what you felt that she did to you. Just go there instead of just taking it personally, which I think just threw everybody off. And a lot of the star magnetism that this match had up until to this point. It's like I was itching to see this match, like Charlotte, Tiffany. It's like two blonde bombshells, if I may, two blonde bombshells, just kind of going for it. Plus, look at Charlotte Flair's pedigree. Look at what Tiffany has been doing. I mean, still in a very young age. Just from that alone, you get like a perfect set of old school, new school, and now we get this opportunity where the young talent is really trying to prove herself with the old lioness, and she kind of failed that one. And so I'm looking forward to the match and seeing what happens from there.
I'm going to try to not be so long-winded here, but I feel like it has always been in Tiffany's character to just involve things that don't have to do with wrestling. Because if we actually look at her back in her NXT days, she was like daddy's girl. Like daddy was doing everything. Like, what does daddy have to do with wrestling? Like, keep him out of it. So I just feel like that's just like her thing. And the thing is, we can't not make it personal with Charlotte, because there is this whole thing that Charlotte just leaves, she comes back, she takes everything, she thinks she's this greatest person out there, but it's just like, actually, no, Charlotte, you are not the queen that you think you are. For instance, you couldn't maintain 3 marriages. So we have to like make it personal. No, like, because the thing is, like, it's also just going into just the, how can I put it? Because you are trying to aggravate your opponent as well. Because we can also be fair in the sense that Charlotte also had a low blow of bringing Ludwig into all of this. Because, on screen, we haven't really touched on Ludwig and Tiffany being a couple. But here is Charlotte now bringing that in. And yes, it was in response to Tiffany. But it's just like, at the end of the day, these ladies do not like each other. And they are 2 blonde bombshells. And they will go off script here and there. And I think that's what was being portrayed in that promo.
I understand where you're coming from, but I just asked you the simple question. How does mentioning her divorces help you in any way, or help the character, or help anything? You're just attacking her sentimental, robustness or lack thereof. That's all you're doing. You're not really kind of putting yourself over through, this is Charlotte Flair. She won 14 championships, but look at what I did in such a short amount of time. This is what puts me over as kind of the go-to, the must-watch female superstar of this division. That's the angle, not just, so we had 3 failed divorces. How does that help anyone?
For me, I just think, though, it creates a lot of unpredictability about the whole situation. And whether we like it or we don't like it, I think now everyone is way more invested in the match, because now you want to see, like, can they actually put together a really good athletic showcase, or is it just going to be like a slugfest? I think back to like Rhea versus Charlotte, Mania 39 for me, one of the most physical women's matches. Yeah. So I feel like we could get something like that. And I get, Alex, what you're saying in terms of like, like Tiffany really didn't have to go for that low blow. But at the end of the day, guys, come on. So I'm going Tiffy. Like I want Tiffany to win this match. Alex, for you, your final. I feel like you're going to go Charlotte.
I mean, I have to lean towards Charlotte right now, because she's the queen, and now she deserves her comeuppance, because
she's always been the queen, though.
But the thing is, right now I do feel that maybe Tiffany should maybe kind of slow her roll a little bit, like they say in America, and just maybe shift over to NXT just for a few months to relearn how to deal with the pressures and just trying to get with the program again. Because from a business standpoint, strictly, what she did without talking to Charlotte first, that she was going to go there, was extremely professional. That turned me off immensely. Because you can get personal. And a lot of, if not most of the rivalries that we know from the history of WWE, they have some personal something to it. And that really brightens them up. But not when you do it in such a mischievous way, where you just get your performer, the person that you're working with, off guard, and you're just attacking. You're just bringing down the shit for both of them. That's
it could become a trend actually as well, because I'm seeing on LFG, funny enough, BJ as well is now kind of doing weird things like that with Cutler James, bringing like really reality into what they're doing and being unprofessional. So who knows what's going to happen there. But okay, so we've got Charlotte for you, got Tiffany for me. Your final answer?
I'm going Charlotte.
Charlotte, okay. You're going with your head because I'm sure that's not your heart speaking. That's just your head speaking.
No, I'm going with Charlotte. And, just actually to touch on what you were saying, Alex, like, it's like Tiffany doesn't have anything to say. So why are you bringing things that are not involved, like, in the mix? Because like you should be speaking on your talents and actually just focus on that and why you think you are better than Charlotte in that aspect. Her divorces and all of that have nothing to do with it. Yeah. So I think Charlotte is going to teach her a lesson in that ring that we don't go there. Like we don't do that.
One final thing regarding this match, I want to put out there, if Charlotte wins, she's going to become a 14-time world champion. She's not a 14-time world champion already. WWE keeps saying that, but they're counting her tag team title reign. I'm like, no. That's part of stat padding. Charlotte Flair, don't do it. So I just had to put that out there. Please get the stats right.
Shame, you've been wanting
I've been wanting to put that.
I will trust your readership into statistics.
Okay, now guys, let's get into the main event, WrestleMania Saturday. Triple threat match. We're decked out in the gear. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Who takes this? We've got Heyman in the corner of Punk. Alex, what are your feels?
This is just absolutely beautiful. This is a constellation of three of the industry's top performers together under one roof. And in this main event for Saturday, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, you just get these three talent. Plus, Paul Heyman is there. And what they did to just kind of swerve the story. And then it feels like Paul Heyman is giving him kind of his favor to CM Punk. And he lightly accepts it. Main event for WrestleMania. Great, I'm now WrestleMania main eventer. But that's not the favor that you owe me. Like, oh, that's so good. That's so good. So really quickly, I would go to say I'm going to watch the match and see what happens because it's impossible for me to say somebody specifically is going to go over.
Alex, you're on Wrestling with Love, WrestleMania 41 predictions. I'm going to have to pin you. There's no way. There's no safe ground here. You got to choose someone.
Let's give CM Punk... Listen, I've been in my own shows, I've been very critical of CM Punk prior to his return and a bit throughout his return. But now CM Punk is nothing but someone who's actually adding to the programming, adding to his, not only his performance skills, but to his co-superstars as well. So he's been doing beautiful work in the ring and outside of it. So I need to give him some love and go, CM Punk needs to win this WrestleMania main event.
Okay, and I think that would make sense having Heyman in your corner. So that's cool. Ati, sorry.
You know what? I think Roman and CM Punk are too distracted and too invested in each other. Because personally, I don't think having Paul Heyman in CM Punk's corner will do anything for CM Punk. Maybe the only thing it can do is maybe get into Roman's head because, like, the wise man is not on his side. So that might distract him here and there in the match will like allow now CM Punk to capitalize. But then the thing is, even with that favor, CM Punk is too like invested in Roman. Because like even the favor it's about sticking it to Roman. I don't think it has anything to do with friendship with Paul Heyman that yes, years back, this is what you said and now we're making it happen. I think it's just to stick it to Roman because okay, Sharp, Roman, you've been the top guy for so long, but now I'm going to take that thing from you that, basically, because they've helped each other. Like Heyman and Roman have helped each other to be where they are. So I don't think that now just by taking Heyman away from Roman is really gonna do anything from Punk because it's just like it's not like Paul Heyman can like now jump inside the ring and do something physically for you. And I think that's where now Seth is gonna capitalize that these two are too distracted. Roman is gonna be, doing whatever, but like looking over at the wise man. And like, so is CM Punk. Like, they're going to be too worried about like, what is the wise man doing? Who is he cheering on? Because at the end of the day, Paul Heyman also does have loyalties to Roman. So will he be 100% on CM Punk's side?
So you're going Seth?
I'm going Seth.
Okay, I think as much as I'm wearing the Roman shirts, it makes most sense for Seth to win this match, because I feel like if he doesn't win, then he was just the third wheel the whole time. Then it was just about Heyman. I think this should be a match to elevate Seth to an even higher level. He is a top star, but he's not a Roman. He's not a Punk. So the biggest way you can end night one is with Seth winning. Heist of the century, 10 years after that, he takes something away from Roman again. And we even saw, we were watching
On
together
Rivals.
on Rivals. Yeah. We saw the beef, how deep this goes. And it's kind of like, it's real life as well. Legit. So I think Seth Rollins, he feels,
he has
and I
something
agree
to
with him.
prove.
Yeah, it's like, I talk better than Roman. I wrestle better than Roman, but for whatever reason, he's always been the top guy. Now's my time. So
Let's go.
I'm going Seth.
It's the most beautiful thing about this match, because it creates exactly what a wrestling match should create. That surprise. That what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to just watching this and not even trying to fantasy book it, and just bring it to me. Let's go.
See what unfolds. Yeah. I must compliment Chef Triple H as well, because when I saw this kind of being set up at the Rumble, I wasn't feeling it. I'm like, we're complicating things, but now I think we're all sold on it.
We're very
and
invested.
it deserves the main event of night one. So that's cool. WrestleMania Saturday in the bag. Are you guys happy with my order? Because I basically took you guys through how I think it should unfold. Starting with Jay, we've got Tiffany second and last, and then main event. Obviously, that's it. Yeah. So
Yeah. It's fine with me.
Okay. Let's go to WrestleMania Sunday now. So there, I think the match that should start is AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, and I think Logan should win this match. Alex, who do you think is going to take it?
There's very little meat to sink my teeth into right now as far as story, because this is just recent. I mean, this has been 2 weeks old or 2 weeks young. So there's not really that much for me to say. Maybe this guy should go over, maybe that guy should go over. I just know that judging from AJ Styles and judging from the athleticism of Logan Paul, I think we're going to have a kick-ass match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Logan Paul will bring it, but I'm with you on this one. It's not deep enough for me.
Okay.
I'm not that invested in it, but I understand in maybe pushing Logan Paul, because Logan Paul is great on the mic. He's an awesome wrestler as well. So, I think this is just an opportunity again to just showcase him as well, because AJ Styles also amazing in the ring. So I just think this was just to give us that wow factor. We're going to see something amazing. But as far as being invested, okay. Thank you for the match, but okay.
Final answers from the two of you?
Logan Paul.
AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. Okay, interesting. Okay, all right. Then next match, let's get into the women's tag team titles. Liv and Raquel defending against Bailey and Lyra. I think here, Liv and Raquel, they are the best women's tag team champions ever. They should retain. That's my stance. Look at Ati's look here. Yeah. She's doing right now.
Sure about that.
What's up with that?
I've said this before. If you are a champion, if you have a title on you, what business do you have in other things? You should be pushing your title, showing why you are good and why you have, why you're on the top, basically. Because the thing is, Lyra, I have not been feeling her ever since she won the IC title. I've not been feeling her at all. The only time when I was sold on her was for this, to basically solidify her face.
And Bailey, the gauntlet match. Yes, that was good.
That was the only time I was like, okay, Lara, okay, but before then, no. And I'm just like, what are you doing here? This is also so random. You guys just fought each other, but now you're a team and you work so well together. What?
What's your perspective, Alex, on the whole situation, how they set it up?
I mean, it's again, one of those makeshift matches, like Adi pointed to, is there's no real sense behind actually booking it this way. but it's a highlight for Larry Valkyria to be able to have a match at WrestleMania as the Intercontinental Champion. And I think that's ultimately what it serves. It gives the champions their limelight, but it also gives the young up-and-comer, the first women's Intercontinental Champion, kind of a few minutes in the spotlight for her to just kind of bask in it and feel how it goes. Because that's an underlying theme here. If you look at the whole cards for WrestleMania, there's a lot of opportunities for younger superstars to try to come up and adapt to this different stratosphere that is a WrestleMania card, So I think that's kind of part of it.
Yeah.
The thing is, we had Roxanne Perez come on SmackDown, wanting to basically be at Mania. And the thing is, both Lara and Roxanne, they were at NXT together. So I think I would have rather wanted that. They're of the same stature, and I really believe that they would have actually put on a really good, match, right? For who's this? Raquel and Liv, I actually would have had her service.
Oh, okay.
Face them at WrestleMania, because it just makes sense looking at Raquel's stature, and then there's also Piper Niven, and then you have, Liv and Alba Fire sort of, similar. It for me, that makes sense more as a matchup rather than, Bailey and Lara, who are so tiny. Yes, they're great, amazing athleticism and everything, in the ring, but Lara, I do not need you here. Defend your title.
Yeah, I think Secret Hervis versus Liv and Raquel could have been a good match as well. But for me, I do like the dynamics in general must have faces versus heels, and there it'll just be heel versus heel. Wouldn't really make sense. Who are you investing in here? So I think I'm okay with the way they've done it, and as much as maybe there's not so much we can sink our teeth into. But at the end of the day, like you said, Alex, I think it's a showcase for Lyra. It's a showcase, and I think a reward for Liv, especially after the year she had in 2024. She deserves to be in a championship match. And I think that's why I'm saying that she's going to win with Raquel. Final answers from the two of you?
It's Liv and Raquel.
Liv and Raquel retaining. Alex?
Liv and Raquel.
Okay, we're on the same page there. Then let's move over to the IC title, Fatal 4-Way. Braun Breaker defending against Penta, Dirty Dom, as well as Finn Balor. I'm going for Dirty Dom here, guys. I think Dirty Dom steals it and
Braun
he gets
Breaker
his moment.
Is a beast.
You're going for the spear.
Yeah, I stopped hearing you for a little second. But I'm going to say Braun Breaker is a beast. I mean, the beast of an athlete. His spear looked like a torpedo coming out of nowhere. I mean, talk about
that one on
Carlito. That's crazy. That's crazy. But as far as the other three, Dominic has been doing tremendous work. He's plateaued a little bit. He's not going as high anymore, but he's there. He's good. Finn Balor has grown tremendously. And Penta is just the shining new star for the singles mid-card. I mean, he's just incredible. I just get a kick out of watching that. And so, as far as choosing, because I know at Wrestling with Love, we do need a final answer.
There we go!
For that, I would just love to see Braun Breaker keep the title. At the same time, I would like to see Penta get a push because he's just so good. That's all.
Was that a final answer? You still find a way to. You were like, but Penta.
No. I would like to see Braun keep it, but I'd like to see Penta win it.
So who's winning? What name?
Penta.
Oh, okay, cool. No, you're not going to get around this. Okay, so Penta's your choice. And I would touch on and also say that I was surprised we got this 4-way because I would have loved to see Penta versus Braun one-on-one, actually. But I guess Dom and Finn are big stars. You need to showcase them as well. So, Ati, where are you falling on this? Who are you going for?
I really just want us to shake things up, man. Because I don't like how Finn has been speaking to Dom. I do not like how he's been looking down on Dom. I need a miracle. miracle.
And what's the miracle?
I need for Dom to pull something.
Oh, so you're with me.
Out of a magic hat.
Okay.
I need entertainment. I need to see
Just
that
imagine,
happening.
Dirty Dom is IC champ, and when he held it, I think in Belgium, he looked like Eddie Guerrero, proper. And I was like, I need that moment. And like you said, Alex, he's kind of plateaued a bit, and this is that injection for me, I think, that he needs just to come back. And then imagine Liv and Raquel would have just retained, then they hug Dom, and then you just have Finn looking there, and he's like, oh, what's gonna happen now? And then JD's supposed to come back soon as well, so you could have like JD and Finn reunite. They do something in the tag division, facing the New Day, who will be the new champs.
I need Finn to be alone again.
Okay.
I miss the demon. I miss the
Context
demon.
is so important. Like, if this wasn't wrestling, it'd be like, what demons are you missing?
Like, I need Finn to be alone.
It was obvious. That trap was obvious. I was not going to fall in it. But if you were watching this and you're not a wrestling fan, like, why do you need him exactly?
Repent.
Repent, please. Speaking of repenting now, hey, we're going to switch over to the Sin City street fight. So we've got Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Alex, what are your feels? How's the feud gone for you? Who's winning?
The thing that I love about this feud is that when you put the pieces together, it's been building for a year. Since last
that
year's
was
WrestleMania.
great.
I mean, and when you look at it, like, oh, it makes sense because they've been popping up in and out in each other's life, in each other's career, in the storyline, and it's like for Drew McIntyre, he has a completely askew vision of life in the WWE and what's fair and what's not, and his diatribes about stuff. And when you see how Damian Priest has been slowly evolving and maturing as a superstar, as a champion, I mean, he is nothing in a good way. He's nothing like Damian Priest he was like 2 or 3 years ago when he's fumbling in promos with Edge. I mean, he's just he's developed into a superstar of his own right. And now you can see them, because he's in there with a WrestleMania main eventer, Drew McIntyre. So when you see that kind of that route, and you go, I like that, because for the past year they've been giving you reasons for why Drew McIntyre should be legitimately angry, and for why Damian Priest should be legitimately defensive of the attitude that he's have with Drew McIntyre. So it's just like, bring it. We're gonna have two beasts here.
Yeah. And your pick?
My pick, I would like to see Damian Priest win.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to go against you here. I think Drew has to win. There's a bigger upside for me with Drew winning because he can be a challenger for the likes of Jey Uso coming out of Mania. And, I mean, Damian Priest has come out on top every single time. No matter how you might say the perspective is skewed, at the end of the day, Damian retained his title. He cashed in on Drew, eliminated Drew twice. So I'm going Drew. Like, please join.
No, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Definitely. I will always choose Drew. I will always. I think he is justified in so many ways in all of his actions. I just need him to stop sabotaging himself because I think that's what's been happening. Like, Drew has an amazing chance, but he gets distracted. He gloats.
He's got the pose
like
of
he
his,
just needs to focus. I think he just needs to focus right now. But I believe in him. I believe in him.
I do feel the need to add this little something. Food for thought. Drew McIntyre works best and is more captivating when he has something to struggle with, when he has a gripe with somebody. If you take that away from him, what is Drew McIntyre?
I think, though, at some stage, he has to become a legitimate threat. He can't always be complaining and have something to complain about, So give him this win, and then he can lose whatever title match he'll have in the coming months. But give the guy a break. Come on. Like, last year at Mania, he wins for 5 minutes, gets cashed in on, Clash at the Castle. He's never won in his home country, home continent. Guys, come on. Give him a bone. Like, so I feel for Drew. We're nearly there, guys. This road to WrestleMania, 2 more matches to go. Another, I think, a controversial one is the women's triple threat. Io Sky defending against Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. We took a month to get to where we knew we were going to get to. So what did you make, Alex, of the entire build and everything?
As far as Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and then Io Sky, I just feel like Io Sky is just so outclassed. And I don't mean to be mean about this, but
Ooh.
as a performer, as a WWE superstar, it just feels like she's so outclassed. Taking nothing away from her as far as wrestler. She's a great wrestler. But is she captivating to watch as a Rhea Ripley or a Bianca Belair? I don't feel it. She's been constantly getting shoved in the face and thrown away like an anime character in the middle of the ring, which just, it cracks me up every single time, although it shouldn't because it's just me. And it's just like, but Rhea Ripley is who we need at WrestleMania. Bianca Belair is who we need at WrestleMania. What is Io Sky doing?
I do think, they complicated things because it should have just been the singles match. Inserting Io now has created something very complicated. And now this is why I feel Io actually has to win. If she doesn't win, then it is exactly what you've been saying, that she's an afterthought, she's been outclassed and all of that. Love you. What are your thoughts?
For me, in this triple threat match, honestly, I don't think we need Rhea. Because Rhea, you did this to yourself.
True.
You decided to be distracted and focus on someone that had nothing to do with the
With your
title.
match, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
To begin with, you decided to be distracted and you lost your title. So suck it up. You
now
lost.
she's signing contracts and doing weird things.
Exactly.
And
the thing is, oh gosh. And the thing is, Io is really a great wrestler. I'll give her that. But I do agree with you in the sense that, is she captivating? Is she, good on the mic and all that? All you hear is
But the crowd loves her though. That's the one thing. That's really been interesting. They really are pro her. Major cheers, more than I've seen from her for a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But honestly, for me, I was happy with it just being Bianca and Io. I would have loved Bianca and Rhea.
Okay.
But they messed that up. They messed it up. So we're not getting it. We're gonna
here
maybe
now.
get it some other time. But for now, it was just supposed to be Io and Bianca, and then can we get Bianca and Rhea later?
Okay. Final answer from me is Io. Your final
Bianca.
answer? Bianca. Rhea.
Oh,
Oh,
hectic
three-way
split.
split. Okay, that's going to be very juicy. And then now, finally, our main event, undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. I think his time is now. 17 has to happen to validate the heel turn.
Yeah.
So I'm going John Cena. Ati, who
And
you
there
feeling?
will be consequences for Cody not selling his soul to The Rock.
So are you thinking The
There
Rock
will
comes
be-
back?
The Rock will do something. Something is going to happen in that match for John Cena to take it home.
Okay. Alex?
I agree with Ati.
Okay.
Woo!
Nice. Are we also going to see Travis Scott maybe make an appearance? He's got a deadly hand himself. And the Sage.
Cody Rhodes should definitely give him a receipt because the way he slapped Cody Rhodes was just human. What's the matter? You're not even a superstar. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think Travis Scott does that have coming into him. But I do wonder, The Rock has been mentioned here in this conversation. Where's The Rock in the midst of all this? And he's always doing his side businesses and his Hollywood hustles and everything else. And he's very successful at it. But he does have a tendency to, at the kind of snap of a finger, he shows up and he does something. So I'm keeping a really open door for The Rock to just come in and do something that's really going to be game changing.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think the money's on Cena winning, and then he can face Randy maybe at Backlash, which will be in St. Louis. I think that would be a great first title defense. And speaking of Randy, actually, as well, he's someone who was supposed to have a match with KO, but of course, KO's got that long-term neck injury now. Hopefully, it gets better soon. So, Alex, who do you think Randy now will face at Mania? Because I'm pretty sure he's going to have a match.
When you RKO Nick Aldis, I was like, oh, I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's interesting because, okay, so who do we have for Randy Orton? He's going to have a match with? And I'm not exactly clear on what that picture looks like. So I'm just waiting to see.
Yeah. Any ideas, Ati, from your side?
No, I think I see it being Nick.
Nick, no.
I see it being Nick Aldis because it's just you are not about to RKO me and think we're just going to be hunky-dory. No, I am your general manager. Respect me. And I will
Yes.
force the respect out of you when I embarrass you at WrestleMania. I need something fresh, something new.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think Randy's match has to be an attraction. And I think having Nick Aldis in that spot will be the attraction, because I think a lot of us, we've never actually seen him in a WWE ring. So just to see him compete, I think will be so cool. I know some people online, they've been throwing names like Aleister Black, Rusev, and I mean, even Solo Sikoa has kind of been teased, but I don't think those matches will suit Randy. I think it needs to be someone big and someone that Randy can beat, though, as well, to move on to bigger and better things.
And the thing is, as much as I would like to see Nick Aldis for maybe a one-off, I do have to wonder, just from a star power kind of thing, like, who is Nick Aldis? I mean, obviously he has a great past and a lot of experience and very successful outside of WWE until he got injured. But is it that much of a draw to suddenly put Nick Aldis for Randy Orton at WrestleMania? I mean, if I'm walking down the street and I see a banner hanging up, down the lights, like, who is that guy? I'm not sure I'm interested in that match, although I know Randy Orton. So you got to be careful with, I do like the novelty, but I'm not sure that would be a perfect fit for WrestleMania as of now.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do what they it might not be at WrestleMania, but I feel like it will be stretched out with what was happening between Naomi and Sonya Deville. Because when Sonya was the general manager, she was, sabotaging Naomi quite a bit. And I think what's going to happen is that, like, basically, who's this? Nick Aldis is going to try sabotage Randy literally at
So Nick
every
turning heel.
turn. Yeah, I see it happening.
I do enjoy him, though, as just the authoritative person who calls it down the middle. But I think he'd also pull it off being a heel. So who knows? We'll have to see. But I'm very disappointed that we lost out on KO. Like, I even said, and you called me out of this. I was like, couldn't have the surgery happened after Mania? Let's get the punt. We were building to the punt. And then afterwards, write him off for like the next year and a half or whatever. So it's a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, let's get KO healthy first and then think about the next career move, because here's another guy who has been growing tremendously, and he's always proven his worth, and we know that, right? As an in-ring performer, on the mic, and just professionally, there's a reason why he's been there for that long. So I really empathize with the fact that Kevin Owens is now out, just 2 weeks shy of WrestleMania. It's like, it just sucks. It just hurts my soul, because he's been doing such tremendous work. But I do think that hopefully next year, fingers crossed, if things go well and don't end up going the route that Big E had to take and this absence for this entire time. And hopefully next year, next WrestleMania, he'll have something good waiting for him. So I'm rooting for that.
Okay. Final thoughts from you, Alex, on the entirety of WrestleMania 41, the one match you're looking forward to the most, and just your general feels.
It's interesting because there's so many marquee matches that I really want to see, but obviously the one that I think captures our collective imagination the most is John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I mean, that's the go-to. That's the true main event in, all shapes and sizes. And so that's the one I'm looking forward to, and just trying to imagine, what does Cena as a heel, as an 17-time world champion, is that it?
Yeah.
From here on out until the remaining of the year, what that's going to look like, I mean, it's very exciting to think about. So I'm looking forward to that match.
I also really want to see Cena fleshed out, like you're saying, more as this heel character, because I think I have struggled to grasp kind of who he actually is. He's dissed us as the fans a lot, but he's kept the same look. And I get the logic of, okay, I'm not going to give you guys what you want, new music, new look and everything. But I do feel like I still need more. So hopefully with the title reign, there'll be more. And then we rebuild Cody. And then I still see Cody being Cena's last match. Then he wins the title back and he says, bro, there was no need to turn to the dark side. Come back to the light. They hug it out, have that feel-good moment, yeah. So for me, I agree with you. Cena versus Cody, that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. And tying it in with Charlotte and Tiffany, I think I'm really keen for that one, yeah. And your final thoughts about Mania and match you're looking forward to the most?
Like we've got some really good matches, some that I have been very vocal about that we do not need. But overall, I think we have a good, match card.
Yeah.
For me, it's 2 matches that I'm looking forward to. It's John Cena and Cody, and then Naomi and Jade.
Woo! proceed with caution.
Like, I don't know what to expect there, but I just know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
As Booker T would say, it's going to be good.
Yeah, I was going to say that. If you want to say
Oh,
good,
I'm sorry.
you get it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my, and for yourself?
Yeah, Cena, Cody. Yeah, like I said, definitely.
Okay.
And then Tiffany, Charlotte. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And that's a wrap from us at Wrestling with Love. Thank you so much for just, gracing us with your presence. This feels so cool. A whole former WWE announcer, like you've been in the mix. All those manias you listed. I'm going to watch this back definitely just to get a grasp and, and you're a legend. And this was so cool to just have the chats with you. And like your man cave there is so cool as well, right?
Thanks so much for having me. Thanks for the invitation. I thought it was really nice. I love you guys' energy. And I think I'm always trying to talk to my girlfriend like, hey, we need to do something similar. I mean, she doesn't love wrestling the way that I do, but I mean, that's a little good, right? But at the same time, she kind of likes it and she's excited about it. And she comments like, maybe one day we just, maybe. So who knows? But I love
It'll happen.
And like I said, just before we started rolling, the beautiful thing about our wrestling community and how quickly it brings people together. I mean, I've instantly make two new friends. Hopefully I'll meet you guys one day. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And seeing the community rise, another podcast, Wrestling with Love. I mean, you're wrestling with love in all sorts of aspects. And I think it's really cool. And you guys do a tremendous job. So thank you for having me again.
Yeah, no, the door is open for you in South Africa. Whenever you're down, please do pay us a visit.
Hopefully, we meet at WrestleMania 42.
Actually, yeah.
See you there.
Yeah, awesome.
But yeah, thank you so much, Alex, for just like joining us today. And to the public, please do not forget to head over to his channel as well, The Wrestling Traduzido. Check him out. Also, he's on TikTok as well. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. And that is it from us.
Yeah, we're out. WrestleMania 41.
Bye, guys.